So I was in town today and I washed my truck, and I think that was a mistake.
And just like that, one of my favorite pieces of gear is now yard sailed across the top of my camper. This is the type of stuff that happens when you're out in the middle of the wild that you can't prepare for. And then you just have to deal with it and take it as it comes. I had a really beautiful day yesterday, ended up around Lost Lake near Keebler Pass. I hiked up to Lost Lake and fly fished. Was able to catch just a boatload of beautiful little brook trout between Lost Lake and Dollar Lake. There's an incredible waterfall up there. And the great part is it's all just a short walk from the trailhead. I've been on lots of hikes in Colorado, and I would say that your ROI up at Lost Lake is incredible. It's only about a half mile to the first lake, and then an additional 3/4 mile to Dollar Lake. All in all, yesterday morning was probably one of the best mornings so far, that I've had in the last week. I talked to the camp host, she let me dump my trash, she let me refill my water. It just seems like an incredible place. I can't stress enough how good it feels to be out in nature and to only have what's essential. I was able to take a shower this morning, it felt incredible. And you start to not even mind the cold water. And I think that that's one of the pieces of the puzzle that is different, is that you're just grateful for the shower. You're just grateful for the water. And this coffee, man, this coffee this morning is just, it's tasting so incredibly good. So with all of that being said, I decided to pivot again. I'm currently about 20 miles south of Grand Junction, and I'm going to be heading towards Utah to meet up with my friend Ethan. Him and a couple buddies are on a fly fishing trip where they're heading up today to fish Boulder Mountain. And then from there, we're gonna head up to Jackson, Wyoming and fly fish the Snake River. And then from there, head up into Yellowstone and maybe fly fish with some geysers in the background.
This is how I make morning coffee. The way I'm doing it now, the filter goes in the pop-up Sea to Summit pour over. This goes on top of my jet boil. Grounds go in here, hot water goes in there, and that's my coffee. Water is boiling. I finally decided to turn on the camera and be comfortable today with all the things that have gone wrong on this trip. From my awning completely blowing away and collapsing in the wind, to my power unit completely melting on this side, and on the unit itself right here, to my drone snapping. The arm completely broke off while trying to land it on the hood of my truck, which I've done 1,000 times. My truck is running right now because I'm trying to charge the single battery that I have left, which was supposed to be the backup battery for my fridge. But now I'm using that to run Starlink so that I can fix all of this huge mess. What I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get at, is that life on the road isn't always what it seems. This is how I feel right now. This is how I feel. I feel like I need to start a band. Like this is, like I need to sing my feelings to you guys. I'm just gonna tell you how it is. It sucks, and there's mosquitoes everywhere. Not all is well on This Way Wild, but there are solutions. I was able to get onto REI's website today and I ordered a new battery. It will be shipped to Jackson, Wyoming by the 1st. I will also be heading to Whole Foods to pick up the adapter cord. And now it's windy and dusty. This is great. Thanks guys, this is great. This has officially become the trip when everything goes wrong. I ordered the wrong cable, but this came in and I have no way of charging it. I'm on a struggle bus right now, and it's taking every ounce of my energy not to drive back to Arizona. It's really hard to run a business from the road when you don't have power and everything keeps breaking. What I'm also finding is that even the brand new EcoFlow will not charge via the outlet, the 12-volt outlet in my car, and I don't know why. So that's something I've got to look into as well. On a side note, just a heads up to Goal Zero, your lithium ion charger that plugs into the cigarette outlet sucks. And it's really frustrating because it turns green and then red, and then green and then red, and then green and then red. And when it's red, it doesn't charge. And when it's green, even at 10 amps, sometimes you get a full charge off of it, sometimes you don't. What I mean by that is sometimes you're getting the full current off of it, and sometimes you're not. And it's made it impossible to keep my battery pack charged up. And that's the one that was supposed to run my fridge. But on a side note, I just entered Yellowstone National Park. I mean, the landscape has been absolutely incredible. The fly fishing has been absolutely incredible. But I'm also realizing that, you know, when it comes to meeting up with friends on the road, sometimes they don't truly understand what you're doing or why you're doing it. And it causes tension and conflict. There are people out there who are going to be threatened by your desire to become a better version of yourself, because it's going to show them where their insecurities are. It's going to reflect to them where their inadequacies are. And I do think that that's one of the most wild things that I've learned on my journey, is that oftentimes the decisions that I make in my life, people take them personally. People take my choices to live out of a truck, my choices to become a full-time photographer, my choice to live out of a suitcase in New York City when I was in my 20s. For some reason, people love to take that stuff personally. The last week and a half, I've hardly shot anything because I was so angry with everything that went wrong. I am officially up on top of Beartooth Pass, and it is 48 degrees and it's freezing. Oh, I gotta get in here and get my hat. I don't know where it is. Here it is. Okay. Whoa, there's lightning around. I gotta get off the top of this mountain right now. Right now. Oh. When you're the closest thing that connects the clouds to the ground, you get struck by lightning. If you notice, I'm wearing the same clothes that I did yesterday. I'm trying to make an attempt to, I don't want to say rush back to Arizona, but I'm trying to get back to Arizona so that I can fix all of the things that are wrong with the systems on the truck. That's been the most difficult part in the last couple weeks, is just feeling motivated to turn the camera on when everything feels like it's falling apart. It's not that I didn't want to document the trip, but I feel like each thing that broke or each thing that went wrong was a failed investment that compounded. And when you add all of those things up on top of finding where to camp every few days, on top of feeding myself, on top of finding water and doing all that, it just took a toll on my mental state. So this morning, I'm sitting here outside of Moab, Utah, near Canyonlands National Park. The sunset last night was spectacular. I got to really test this thing in deep sand. And
I got some really great sleep. I've been doing my best to roll with the punches and settling into whatever is. Not having expectations, but I put a lot of time, money, and effort into this project. So when things don't work, it's really frustrating. The last few weeks have tested every part of my system, my gear, my mindset. I mean, everything. I was running the truck just to keep the Starlink alive. I turned the fridge into a cooler with ice. And honestly, I was just trying to make it through. But this isn't a story about quitting. It's a story about showing up anyway. In the next episode, I head back to Arizona to work directly with River Outdoors to replace my broken awning and then go through and dial in my electrical system so that failures like the one that happened on this trip never happen again.